And we're live. Exactly. We're just sitting here laughing ahead of time. Oh, manifesting awesomeness. My name is Will Mitchell, Reiki with Will. I'm a Reiki master teacher in Austin, Texas, and my co-host is Wendy from Languages of Lights. And we're going to manifest today. It's a full moon in Leo.
It's a full moon in Leo, and we've got the comet and
the eclipse.
Oh, and the eclipse. And you know what else? Oh my God, where's my journal? I was writing down the date today, and it's again all ones.
Yeah, I knew you were going to get there.
And I was like, so I was like, yay! I was like, look at all these ones. I was like another 11, I think, because it's 2, 10, and then 1. You know, so I'm like, and when I see 2, I see 1 and 1. So I'm like 11, and then another 1, and another 1 for 2017. I'm like, oh, 11, 11. I'm like, okay, this is manifestation. And that moon right now where I am is so huge and bright, and it's got this enormous color halo around it. It is so clear and crisp here tonight. I'm so excited that I can see it even, you know. And yeah, this whole manifestation and
yes. Well, there's other good news too. Beginning today, there is no more anomaly in our solar system.
Exactly. We have confirmed that the anomaly has passed, and I, for one, am so happy. It really, you know, I can see why our ET friends even, like, you know, kind of backed off a couple 10 million miles, because it was like intense. I'm still, I'm still coming off of all this. It's like I have been, talk about manifestation. It's just, it's kind of starting to get almost scary. Like, it's happening, like you think it and you intend it, and it's happening that quick now. It's like, just like Bashar was saying, that you're gonna feel it. The time period is going to be, you know, shorter for manifesting, and I really am feeling it. It's like you start to begin to understand the power we really have once you believe you have that power to do that and become that, you know, that frequency.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's all we need to do. We need to focus on what we wish to create, set our intention and attention, and then energy is being sent to it, and voila, we're manifesting it.
Well, energy flows where focus goes. So, you know, we know that. Now it's time to, I think it was a big push lately to, you know, it's time to stop talking about it. It's time to start, oh, my light, sorry. It's time to start actually acting on this stuff and saying, okay, it's not enough to just know you're a manifester. It's time to start actually putting it into practice and testing it. And what's been fun about this has been actually testing it, and it is working. And that's what's so, when you start to truly grasp the power that we have, it's pretty incredible. And it's happening with people. So as soon as my thoughts go in a certain direction and I say, I'd like to explore this direction, it's as if immediately people, places are put in my path. And maybe it's not so much that they are just more being put in our path, but that we're aware. So we're seeing it right away, instead of walking through our life kind of with blinders, not really seeing, you know, what they're laying out for us. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's just because we're aware that it's happening more frequently, because now that it happens more frequently, you act on it, and that accelerates itself. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely makes sense. It's half of the battle of manifestation and co-creation is our own belief systems and our own permission slips. And when we start to give ourselves permission to create the abundance in our lives and receive it, that's because it's there. Whether you actually stand up and pick it up and bring it into your awareness after you tell the universe what you want, that's the second half, is you need to bring it in.
And then we really do need to be aware once we see, we need to act upon those things that we were used to be afraid to act on because we're like, oh, what's going to happen? And now we're like, okay, let's just act upon it, because now we know no matter what happens, it's perfect, because it's either going to show me, yes, this is the direction I want to go in, or not so much, you know. And now it's not this big, horrible tragedy of beating ourselves up anymore. It's like, oh, okay, I tried it. It showed me the direction I didn't want. How awesome is that, you know? So I think we're also looking at the actual experience differently. We're not judging it from necessarily a negative standpoint anymore. We're starting to see things as experiences that we don't need to, you know, beat ourselves up about and judge. We're just their experiences. So I had a great conversation with someone delightful today about that very subject.
Nice.
I wanted to say hi to everybody, since we kind of,
yes,
we sort of just walked right into our conversation. So I just wanted to say hi to everybody. And there's some notes on the side chat. Unless she wanted to say it out loud, that's fine too.
So let's introduce the people in the room. So we have Michelle, we have Sam, we have Shiny Sean, and Tarot Fairy on the Prairie.
Tarot Fairy on the Prairie, baby. Hey, honey, how you doing?
V.
That's V. Hi, V.
Hi, V. Welcome.
We'll just, yeah, it's easier to call her V. How you doing, sweetie? You wanna just say what you said there?
Hi guys. I have been absent for a long time. There's been a bunch of stuff going on in my life, but I have noticed that sometimes you see things as negative. You walk into an experience and you think, oh my God, why is this happening? But as you kind of live the experience, you realize that it's a lesson. You realize that it's there to actually teach you that maybe you're kind of swerving off your path and it's leading you back to the right direction.
Right. That's all contrast is.
And you know what? It's such a beautiful thing to experience, because it really keeps you accountable of what you should be doing and not what you think you should be doing.
And well, doesn't it verify the fact that they're telling us what they've been telling us all along? Use your instincts, guys. This is your compass.
Yes.
Exactly. For me personally, my dad's really sick. He's had 4 strokes now.
Oh, he had, and I have been sending him and you healing.
Thank you so much, you guys. And that's the actual thing. I remember talking to you before about crystal healing centers and crystal healings and such things. I really think that this experience with my dad is actually leading me towards that direction. We're actually moving back to BC, to Vancouver Island, because I believe that that's a very healing, very positive location. So it's things. It's so crazy to talk about manifesting and seeing things come about, because I was really starting to get into that self-funk, like, oh, this is bad. Oh my God, my dad's so sick. What am I supposed to do? Everything's terrible. And finally, I was just like, you have to shut up. You got to pull up your pants, wipe your butt, and start focusing on the good things.
Well, and another thing we have to remember is we also have to honor another's path. And if this is your father's path, and this is what we all have to, as healers too, we have to open ourselves up to this too, that if this is someone's path, it's a co-creation.
Exactly. And it's kind of funny, because my dad's always been one of those people where he's very stubborn. He's very religious, very into like the religious based thinking. Never been really spiritual, never followed any kind of path like this. And now when I give him a crystal, he's like, he just grasps onto it. It's amazing. He says he feels energy from it. So
now, is it because you've talked to him about this? Is that why he's more open?
I've, for the first time in my life, completely opened up to
wow.
And for my parents, it was really hard because when I was growing up, they were like, you know, she's possessed by the devil. There's something wrong, because I've always been different.
Yes,
but
me
now,
too.
He's really looking at it like, oh my God, this might work. This makes me
might actually be something.
And I wear a necklace with a lot of different crystals and things on it. And when he had his first stroke, I took it off and gave it to him. Wow. And to be honest, he was like, holy.
He could feel it.
He got better in 24 hours after the first stroke. He was actually better after the first stroke than he was before it. And I really put a lot of that into the crystals. I think the crystals have so much to do with it. I really, really do. Even the nurses were talking about him outside the room, like, there's something completely weird going on here. Because this person should be like, he should be not doing anything that he was doing. He was able to use his left side even after the stroke and stuff. It was just, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
And what a beautiful gift to give you and you to give him.
Exactly.
And how it's guiding you. And sometimes too, in the idea of about labeling something as negative, especially in a situation like this where and I'm going through the same thing in my own family. I have someone in my family who's not doing well physically and mentally, and so again, it's difficult when you're close to the situation to step back and to be able to apply the tools that we really know and say, this is when it means the most, is when this is when it means the most, is when you can take that information that we've learned and apply it now to this beautiful co-creation. And it also makes us a little bit easier when we view a situation in someone that has done us a disservice, done us harm, where we feel that there's forgiveness that needs to take place one way or the other. I think we start to judge that a lot less, and we start to say, you know, if these are all experiences and they're all just experiences and they're not negative or positive necessarily, it's what we put the meaning to as negative or positive. So if that's the case, then why would there be a need for forgiveness if it was just an experience and nobody really did anything wrong and it was just a co-creation? And don't we then have to thank the people that we feel have hurt or injured us to be the ones who decided to be the bad guy for your co-creation?
Exactly. It makes you really realize that who you are is because of everything you've experienced, the positive and the negative. And I think that's the most beautiful thing out of all of it, is you really realize that nothing really has, like you were saying, a negative or a positive thing to it. Everything is a learning lesson. Everything makes us who we are. And that's been the most beautiful thing for me, is learning all of that. You know, I think my life has changed dramatically in the last couple months. It really makes you accountable to what you should be doing and the path you should be following. And it opens up your heart chakra. It really does.
Big
to
time.
Realize that you're, you know, and you take that perfection out of everything and you just kind of bring it to divinity. Everything is divine, just the way it is.
Absolutely. And you know, I was given the parallel, or should I say maybe in that you, with your situation, it's you and your dad. With me, it's me and my child. So yeah. I'm finding that interesting parallel here too. So thank you. I really appreciate you sharing all of this, because this is really part of what manifestation is all about too, is about becoming aware of this power within us to manifest the ability to see something from a different perspective. And I think that's really, really big. I mean, you know,
Actually, I have another thing I'd love to share with you guys. Um, I think manifestation isn't instant either, and I think that's something we should really focus on. Is don't think that it's not working just because you do it today and it doesn't happen tomorrow.
Exactly. Well, that's what 3D is about, though, because up there we can manifest instantly in the other dimensions. That's why we come here, is for the delay.
Exactly. To learn the patience and the gratitude.
The process, to enjoy the process.
I want to tell you guys about something. Wendy, I think I mentioned this like maybe even last year when we first met, about wanting to open up my own crystal business.
Yes.
I've always been so, I guess the word jealous is the wrong word, but I've always been like, wow. Michelle has like the most beautiful, large, humongous crystals, and they just like, I feel them all the way from the pictures. Like it just like blooms, and I'm like, oh my God. Well, I put a manifestation out. I wanted to work with larger crystals. I wanted to be able to have larger crystals in my life and to be able to work with them and manifest with them. And I put that out probably sometime around last year, and it's happening. It's happening. I have these humongous chunks of raw crystal now, and I've opened up my own crystal business. So I'm going to be selling and selling jewelry and crystals and all sorts of things. And to me, that is just like wow. You know,
That's
really
amazing.
Yes,
what a great example of manifestation.
Exactly. But
and you know, is that picture on your avatar there? Is that a photo of your stuff?
Yes.
Because you know why I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you what that is, because you know that Himalayan crystal lamp pyramid. I have the same one.
I love it.
Exact. And not only do I have the same one, it was a gift. I didn't even buy it. And then I'm watching my friend who's got a YouTube channel, Kristen Clark, and she does all kinds of awesome stuff. I'm watching one of her videos, and I have another crystal, another Himalayan salt lamp. It's the same one as hers. I was like, of all the thousands of Himalayan salt lamps, we have the same one.
Identical stuff. Exactly. Yeah, I think it's wonderful. But the thing is, it really takes a lot of patience and a lot of gratitude. I think that's the thing.
Gratitude. Oh, just hit Will's funny bone, because we are like the gratitude.
You know what, you guys? I think the problem is we as people, we've come into such a time where everything is like it should be instant. That's how we feel. Technology is instant. Everything happens instantly. You know, it's funny because my dad and I were just talking about something. He's like, remember when we used to sit by the TV and you bought me for my birthday one of these, you know, those little clickers that you would attach to your analog TV so you didn't have to turn the dial, and you would press these humongous buttons and you had like 12 channels. Well, you know, before we had to get up to change the channel, we had to have that patience. If you wanted to do something like cook up something, you know, now you throw it in the microwave, it takes 30 seconds before you have to start up the stove and do the things. People learned that, you know, everything wasn't instant gratification. It wasn't, you know, instant. Nowadays, you know, 30 seconds, you got a meal. Like,
I still use that example of like when I was a kid watching Bewitched and I Dream a Genie, where they could just, but yet they wanted to do it the hard way. And I'm like, why? Why would you want to do it well, no, I want to be a human. I want to be immortal. I want to do it the long way and go through the process and burn the dinner. And I'm thinking as a kid, well, why would you want to do that if you could do it like that? Well, now I get it.
It does. It really shows you what you've been given. You know, I've met so many people with the crystal business, especially. I've met so many people from places like India and different parts of China and stuff where I get some of my product from. And I was speaking with a lady in India, and it really, like, you know, even with all the crap happening in my life and the pity party that I've been on, she really touched my heart, because she was telling me for the first time in 20 years, they have running water in their house.
You know, this is what I'm talking about. And we just let water go right down the drain without a thought.
And she was just like, you know, she thanked me. She said, you know, the last $500 order that you put in, she said, that was the last $500 I needed to get running water put in my house.
Wow.
And she was so grateful. And, you know, she was crying and thanking me and thanking me. And I felt like, to be honest, sorry for swearing, but I felt like a bitch, because I have all these things. I have so much to be grateful for. And here I was on a pity party because my dad was sick. You know,
but these are human emotions, but that's part of that is part of our process. Like what you're going through this is our ascension. What you're going through, you're ascending, you're understanding, you're becoming aware of these things. And that's what we're all here to do together, and to help us through all this mud, you know, and realize that. That's beautiful. I mean, this is such a beautiful example of manifestation. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. And what you said about gratitude is the key to receiving more to be grateful for. Because if you know what, show the universe we're grateful for what we have, you have it. There's an energetic block. And with it, things just keep coming. There's no flow. Keep coming. And you know, I don't know. I think that's where the happiness, and that's where I think people say you get this bliss and this joy and this happiness, because it's just like you get this perma smile from things that just start happening, and that you have nothing but gratitude then. Because it's almost like it's being handed to you. Like, yes, it is. And you're just standing there going like, oh my God, I'm worthy of it. I finally exactly. Oh, you just hit, I was just going to say the worthy thing. So there you go. Poor Will. It's like, here, we were just having our own conversation here. I'm sorry for
no, don't, not at all, not at all. This
perfect.
Is the best
you have
part.
No idea how perfect this is. It is.
I don't need to say a thing.
It is. It's perfect. It's just the timing of this and the display and the examples is. This is the real life stuff of exactly what this is what this tonight's all about. And can I say one more thing, and then I will. Oh God, yeah, no. Keep sharing. Guys, seriously, my biggest thing that I would love to say is, do not put money or numbers or dream big. Don't think that you're unworthy of anything. You know, and if you want $1 million house, that's what you want, like, if it's not coming from a place of ego or, oh, I want to be better than everybody else, if that is what you need, if that's what fulfills you, and that's where you can work from to build and give to others, you'll have it. And don't be afraid to ask and dream for that. I always say that, dream, ask for that or better. That I want that or better, that or more. And that's the thing. I think that's another problem, is we are taught that money's evil, that money's bad, that, you know, if you are rich, then you're obviously a bitch because, you know, you're thinking everything is for you. But people like us within this, even the circle right here, if you had abundance for yourself, I'm sure that it wouldn't stay just with you. Oh, no, I can't wait to have abundance to share abundance. I only want abundance so I can share abundance. What's the point of having it then? That's the thing for me too. I finally, for the first time, I am saying I am going to be abundant. I am going to be rich. I'm going to be filthy rich so that I can share my wealth, my health, and my love and gratitude with everyone that I come into contact with. And imagine if we all did that. Wow, what a world. Exactly. And then no one would be going without water. No one would be, right. There would be nobody without water. And this is exactly because now you guys have this beautiful exchange of energy where you're seeing firsthand now where your support for her highest joy is supporting her and her family and her ability to have food, water, whatever.
And the thing is too, how much am I getting back from that as well? You know, I get to hold these beautiful crystals that were just literally mined, washed, and sent. I mean, how beautiful is that? Where it's not processed, it's not, it's raw, clear, and ready to be, you know, energized. And
but you know what's really raw and clear and ready to be energized is what you shared. What you really got from that was the gratitude thing.
Yes, yes, and that's the thing.
That's the real gift.
You know, even for me with my dad and his situation, you know, people would never say, oh, I'm grateful for this. But to be completely honest, I am grateful for what's happening because it's taught not only myself, but I think my whole family that, you know, forgiveness and just getting past all the bullshit that you've been through. You don't have to hold on to that anymore. It's time to just break those chains and release it and just let it all go. And in the end, you know what? If he does happen to pass, at least you know that he's going with a clear spirit that he's been forgiven. And I understand, you know, that a lot of it was learning lessons, and it's beautiful either way.
What a perfect night too because that's what full moons are about, you know, coming to fruition. And whatever has happened since the last, I think, what did they say? The last eclipse, and then this eclipse today, and releasing and taking everything that we learned from that time, releasing all of the things that we have learned since that, and releasing the belief systems that don't belong with the new stuff that we've learned and we're integrating. And it's such a perfect night to have this whole conversation. So what a divine, how divinely guided that you were and we were to have the space, and you're joining the space and sharing this information, because this is what this is for.
And you know what, honey, the weird thing is this is the first webinar I have attended in probably,
I haven't seen you or talked to you, and I've been, and you know what's really funny, because I've been really busy with my own 3D stuff too, and I keep thinking, you know, I should send her a message, and you know how that goes. And so
definitely,
you know, here we are today, but therein lies another lesson, you guys. If you get that, you know, that inclination to send that message, you know, send the message. But you know, I did energetically, and right.
And that's the thing. I think that's the most important thing is
you manifested it, right?
And we're all so connected. We are all, you know, I'm pretty sure in the astral we've been busting our butts together.
Oh, heck yeah, I know so.
Day in and day out.
And I have to tell you, I just went through the same thing with my own mom for the last year, with a lot of very, very serious health issues. And everything you said, I echo. The family, the learning, the lessons, the appreciation, the gratitude, the letting the stuff go that doesn't matter. It just and
honestly,
just
that anger just makes you more angry. It just brings you. It keeps you in such a negative space. And for me, you know, that forgiveness, it makes me feel better. It's almost like it's a selfish deed, because I feel so much better just letting go of all that negativity that was, you know, eating me. Like, oh, why didn't you do this when I was a kid? And why didn't you do that? And you know what? When I look back, I look at my dad's life too, and it wasn't all peaches and roses either. So
exactly,
that you hold on to yourself, it's not just you. It's they have things that they probably regret, and they don't, you know, they wish they could do different. But it's made you who you are today. And I'm so grateful for the lessons that they've taught me for the person that I am, and for fighting to be my own self, and not, accepting that just because they're a certain way, I have to be that way. I've always fought to be different, to be not the same, to teach them something different, like the way that I feel. And like, I remember many a fight that I've had with my family saying, oh, your way of thinking is wrong and our way of thinking is right. And finally, for the first time in, 40 years, we kind of see that it's okay for them to think this way and me to think this way, and we can just meet at a common ground. And no one's perfect. No one's way of thinking is right. No one's way of thinking is wrong. Everything is just, we're just all divinely placed in the right place and time. And I love that.
That's been one of the biggest messages I've been receiving lately, is not just that no one's wrong or everyone's right. It's that everyone is right,
and that's the thing. We're all divinely placed in each other's life for a reason. I really think that.
I truly believe.
Every person teaches another, even from the bad experiences. And I'm really starting to learn that, is when you look at an experience as bad, it's not always just because something bad is happening, it's a bad experience. It's a learning experience. It's a growth experience. It's something that, from the negative, you can manifest the positive in your own life. You can change it. You can always change it into something better.
Absolutely.
Start
Absolutely.
with gratitude.
Yes.
Start with gratitude.
Okay, you guys, thank you so much for...
Oh, gosh, thank you for sharing. I'm so happy that you did, and I hope you find some comfort and peace in sharing.
I do. I love it. I'm so happy. I hope the message helps someone else that is feeling this way as well.
There's no doubt about it, because otherwise you wouldn't be sharing it.
And that's the thing. We're all put here together to, we're all a piece of a puzzle. We all put each other's little pieces together, and I love that. And
I actually have a video out there that's actually talks about the puzzle pieces.
And I think that's the reason that we all find each other. I really do, because we all together in the end, we put that puzzle together, and sometimes there's pieces missing, and you're searching and searching for a long time, trying to find that person that, fills that spot that you thought you knew, but you weren't quite sure of, which step to take or which way to go or what you're supposed to do. And that person comes into your life, and they're that perfect piece. They open your eyes to a different way, or something, or teach you a lesson, or teach you how to do something that just opens you up and fulfills your life. And I think that's beautiful. That's why I love you guys all so much, because you guys are all those little puzzle pieces in my life that build it to make it perfect, to make it better.
And the same goes for you, You make ours
learn that too. I'm starting to
too, and I sometimes wonder, as I visualize that puzzle, that I wonder, do the pieces, do we ever really finish filling in the puzzle of our life, or does the puzzle itself always morph, and then there's always going to be new different pieces to put in it,
I think you're right. I think it does morph. I think as you grow, so does that puzzle. I think as we grow as individuals, that puzzle grows with us.
Yeah, it's almost like because the picture that we have, and we try to fill in the puzzle pieces for this picture that we have, but it seems to me the picture is always changing, and so yeah.
I feel it too, especially in the last few months. I really feel that too. And especially with the people coming into your life. I don't know how it's worked for you guys, but for me, I've met so many people where I can't even imagine life without knowing them now, because they have become so important.
Absolutely. And everyone in this room, I have to say, for sure.
Definitely. You just, and you just smile. Like now there's certain people where you just think of someone and you can't stop smiling. You don't
exactly. They just make you smile to think about them.
You just can't shake that grin off your face because you know just how much they've totally touched your life.
Yeah, we know. We know.
Wait, I got like 100 people like that. That's why I'm constantly smiling.
Yeah, exactly. So yes,
I know Wendy, and I love Wendy.
It's a beautiful thing. I always, yeah, we always, I love you, Will. I love you.
Okay, you guys, I'm sorry for
no,
taking.
don't. Oh God,
no,
don't. Absolutely
divine.
not. Are you kidding? This was like the best, perfectest thing ever because Will and I are just like, well, we're just gonna talk and wing it and just be. We're just gonna be manifestors and we'll figure it out. So you couldn't have been more perfect timing, honey.
Thank you guys. I love you guys. Love you, Wendy.
And
Love
I'm
you.
so happy to hear from you. I am, and you know, and keep us posted. I know how hard it is, but you know, and I am watching to see what's going on with you. So
thank you guys. I'm going to scoot off now. My poor son hasn't had a chance to spend any time with me for months now.
okay.
So we're gonna have Mario night tonight and just do the mundane.
Oh, you need to do that. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, that's beautiful. Well, thank you. Oh my gosh. Well, thanks you for coming.
Yes, thank you for sharing, V.
Love you guys.
I love you. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Every blessing. Yes,
Bye.
Kashiwa Kanadia Saskawatayasha.
Yeah, Katashina.
Oh, that was totally awesome. Divine timing.
That was so great. Well, that was really great. Wow.
Yes.
Well, who wants to share next? How about you, Will? Will, anybody else who wants to share?
I would like to share. We're constantly manifesting. We're constantly creating. We're creator beings. Every aspect of our being is constantly working together to bring in the next now. And how we are vibrating on all our multiple levels is what's causing that to happen. And us focusing our attention and our awareness and focusing our intention on what we wish to create is only one small part of our vibration. And we were talking earlier about how come it's not happening instantaneously. It's besides that we're spoiled brats and we all want it now.
And yes, in this age of immediacy.
Yes, yes. I want it now. Wait, wasn't that in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Yes, I want it now.
I want it now, exactly. So yes, patience, I'm sure patience is worked in there somewhere. But it's also being in the okay, being in the joy, constantly being in the joy and the gratitude. And then you'll be getting joy and gratitude back. And then it doesn't matter what you're creating. If you're sitting in that joy and gratitude, is everything that you get is then abundant. And it's over the top. The cup is not only full, it's overflowing.
Well, and I think sometimes too, people are like, oh yeah, you know, the spirituality and oh yeah, and joy and gratitude and always being in la la land. But the thing is that, you know, well, there were so many things I wanted to say on that. It was like, la la. It all kind of got all mixed up. People think it's just so woo-woo-y, or that it doesn't, the point is like V was saying, it's not about that things are going to be all wine and roses or whatever you want, that things are going to be beautiful butterflies all the time because we're in joy and gratitude all the time. No, it's that you begin to understand that you can find the joy and the gratitude from those experiences that we used to just look at pain and negative and to be able to see. And so that's when we're talking about being in joy and gratitude all the time. That's what we're talking about is, yes, of course, being in gratitude and joy for the I'm outside and I'm in the sun and these are beautiful and look at these children and look at the cute puppy and I have a wonderful family and I have great health and yes, yes, and yes, of course, we want to be in that state of gratitude. But that's not really what that is about, is it? It's really about what we were talking about earlier, is that finding that joy and gratitude, unconditionally loving who you are and what's going on in your life, no matter what's going on in your life, and finding joy and gratitude in that existence.
Yes. You don't, I would like to say it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when you decide to live from your heart center, when you decide to be the joy, that you don't have to find the joy in those situations where
Good point.
you don't have to find it.
Right. Good point. Mm-hmm. It's already, you're already hovering in that state of being.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a state of being.
It's a state of mind. It's a state of being. Absolutely. Yes. Very good perspective. Absolutely.
And when we get into those situations where we formerly said, wow, what the heck did I do? How did I get myself here? You can easily jump from, if we find ourselves, I'm very human, okay? I get into this situation as well. Then I go, well, all right, I can maintain this attitude that I had, or I can say, I am joyful, I am grateful, I'm in this situation. And then what is an alternative viewpoint that I can look at from this situation? Where can I find the joy, or can I be the joy? Whatever it takes at that point. And then once we change our viewpoint, watch how the entire situation changes.
Absolutely. And the intention to what you just said kind of struck something, because we have to find the joy. First, we have to decide that we want to look for the joy. Then we want to find the joy. And by finding it, that's how you become that state of being. But we have to intentionally go looking for it, because I know a lot of people in my own present life, they're stuck in looking for the unjoy, and they're always going to find it, and their reality will always support that unjoy, and then they will be able to substantiate, well, see, all these unjoys I'm experiencing. Mm-hmm. Because are you looking for the joy things or not so much?
That goes to vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Or goes to attitude, which is another way of saying vibration.
Correct.
And
which is, the good point. Oh, that was really good, Will. Attitude, which just is another word for vibration.
it is. But,
Because it is.
But we as humans who speak English, attitude, we resonate better with attitude.
Yeah.
But sometimes we think of attitude. Do you have a positive attitude?
All right, yeah. Or you got what's with your attitude?
Exactly. Notice? Did you see the finger pointing with that? Exactly. And if we don't judge, because that finger pointing was a judgment, okay? And if we don't,
sorry,
hey, Tina. And if we
Hello,
don't
everyone.
Welcome.
It's 4 a.m. here. It's 4 a.m.
It's 4 a.m.
At the morning. Yes, at the morning. I was sleeping. Sorry, Will. Go ahead.
No, you're perfect.
I just
Welcome.
wanted to say hi.
Good morning.
Kina and I have been messaging back and forth, so I was like, "Oh, Kina, yay!" So I was glad you were able to come.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, Will, you was talking. Go ahead.
Sorry, Will. Go ahead, Will.
No, I'm already off the topic. I can't remember. You think I
You were
plan
saying
anything? I don't plan
yes.
anything. I just roll off the tongue, whatever it is.
You were saying about the tipping point. She don't judge.
Oh, the judgment. Yeah, with your attitude. And yeah, at times when we start to judge, sometimes we want to feel better by looking at something that doesn't feel as good and say, well, I don't feel that way. Acknowledging the situation is also important, is whatever it is, because we can't, either we're in the bliss and we understand that the situation is perfect the way it is, or we need to assess the situation and say, I don't want to feel like this. So that's step one. And then you have to decide, we have to decide at that point as humans, what do we want to feel like? Do we want to feel the joy? Do we want to feel anything that's better than this? Then what do we do to take those steps? Is there,
Yes.
I like jumping gratitude. I like jumping to gratitude, because gratitude is the ladder for raising your vibration, for changing your attitude, it's the ladder itself, as far as I'm concerned.
It truly is, and it's the first rung. Well, when there's someone who is in the throes of whatever their experience, where they are simply unable to find any gratitude, that's the time when we have to really reach for, sometimes it's really, when there's nothing, when someone looks at their life and says, I have absolutely nothing right now that I can see to be grateful for, that's when we really have to reach into the, okay, let's just start with the basics. You're breathing. Why are you still breathing?
Yes,
You're
I just
obviously still breathing for a very good reason. Now, you weren't created for no reason, and you exist. Like it or not, you exist, and you always will. So, get a grip on that first. Once you realize that, okay, now, do you still want to exist in this perception, this perceived reality? Yes or no? Okay. If you can't find anything grateful to be grateful for, and you say no, then you, if it's true and you really believe that, you can close your eyes and you will just simply transition. It is that easy. So therefore, when you are in the grips and you can't find anything to be grateful for, at least start with breathing, because something thinks you should exist, and you do. So now the next thing is what are you going to do with that existence? And build from there, truly. Because then you're like, well, anything's got to be better than what I'm feeling right now if I can't seem to find anything to be grateful for. So, and then we really have to move into, and we have to find anything. I have feet, I have hands, I have teeth. I'm able, obviously, if I'm breathing, I must have some form of sustenance. I must have some water. I must have some food, or I wouldn't even be living. So I must be grateful for that. So we have to build from somewhere. And what I'm discovering lately with people is when they're in that deep, dark place, how do we help people find that shred, that little thread of gratitude to hold on to hook that onto that first rung of the ladder, that they can even climb out of that first hole?
Yes. What I've learned from yoga is just breathe.
The problem is you guys, you have a clarity of mind. So when you have to decide for joy or staying in fear mode, when you haven't clarity of mind, you start to be in fear mode because you cannot disregard. Do you understand? In my case, when I choose to disregard what is the problem and try to find joy, at that moment, I start to feel panic because I feel I have to control it. If I don't control it, something bad will happen, and I shut down the joy mode. Do you understand?
I do.
Because I haven't my clarity of mind for staying in joy, and I start to go deep in fear for controlling and lack of self confidence maybe in the life. I finished.
Very good. Ooh, take that, Will.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good one. Very good.
That is. It's the clarity of mind. I have been in that fear mode. I'm closing my eyes so I can be more in touch with that. Yes, when you're deep down in the lower centers, when you can't even survive in the root chakra with the safety and the clarity of mind or forethought to even say, can you even say, I don't feel safe? Because that statement in itself is an acknowledgement of the current situation. I am fearful. I am afraid. That at least...
Yes.
I have found that if I say that out loud, it almost it evaporates the fear itself, because once you acknowledge it, it really does become the metaphor of there is nothing to fear but the fear itself. It's almost as you move into that awareness that, okay, I'm fearful.
Welcome, Brian.
Hey!
Thank you. I feel welcome. I'm glad you guys are here.
Hi, Jody.
Hi, Jody.
Hey,
Happy
sister.
full moon.
Happy
yes, that's a very good point to make, though, because if you can acknowledge being in the fear, sometimes that in itself. Now, though, do you feel, Kina, that acknowledging the fear makes you feel more fearful?
The problem is I have so much in panic or fearful state. I don't reach the point of acknowledging, and I stay stuck because every day I choose fearful again because I don't acknowledge for trait for doing for identify and for make change. Do you understand?
I do.
I don't have the clarity of mind yet and the stillness yet for reaching and identifying the problem.
Well, let's say that you're here and now. Are you in the fear state right now?
No, it's 4 a.m. I have nothing to fear.
Well, okay, I'm not even going to touch that. We could begin by losing the belief that the time of day has anything to do with your fear.
That's correct.
I just wanted to, I'm sorry, I had to put it out there.
Okay, so we have established the fact that you can get to a non-fearful state.
Correct.
And then once we get to that state, we can then find any gratitude. We can since we've acknowledged the situation, we can then manifest out of the situation. We can declare, I want the universe to provide a non-fearful situation for me. I want to manifest. Now, what's the opposite of fearful? What is it that you wish to bring in besides the fear? Do you wish to bring in joy? Do you wish to bring in just stability? Do you want to bring in, what is it you wish to manifest at this point?
Something I was reminded of today was that we have to remember we are so powerful that we can create this idea, we can create the experience of feeling fear and every day going into the fear. Okay, let's just establish that we are that powerful. We can choose that experience. And yes, I use choose adamantly, because we do choose it, and we choose it for a very good reason and a very good experience. I mean, a reason, a lesson. So for our spiritual path, our growth. If we can remember that we are capable of creating that, we can also begin then to embrace the idea that we are equally as powerful to create the opposite of that. We forget that part. We forget that we are capable of creating that. Therefore, we are able to create the other side of that coin. That's what Ascension is about as well, is learning that you have that power to create absolutely any experience you desire. All are equal and great and awesome, but you still get to choose, and you get to know that you're that powerful. When you move into that power, it helps you move out of the fear and realize, oh, okay, I can do that.
I love your explanation, but maybe the mind is not the only problem you have to deal to. Sometimes you have low vibes, and if you don't clean these low vibes, they come over you. And even if your mind choose to remind you you are powerful, your low vibes they keep you getting down at each moment. If they can reach your attention, you have to do the education of yourself in the mind and in the emotion of the body. Do you understand? By meditation.
Absolutely. It's not something I don't think we master and just figure it out and we're done with it. I think it's a constant, continuous thing. It's not something I think we actually master, really. It's the ability to get better at it. And the idea is that once you allow yourself to become more familiar with that frequency of the non-fear state, and
like we're doing right now,
and the clarity, exactly, and the clarity state, once you allow yourself to become familiar with that vibration, you now have established a guideline for returning to that frequency. And when you're in the throes of that feeling that I need to control it or whatever, you say, okay, I now can decide to try to intend, not try, to intend to move back into that frequency that I remember of what it felt like to be in that place of when I was comfortable, where I was not fearful, where I was powerful.
Yes, and affirmations are the tool that we use to reinforce the security of each of the chakras, and the fear and the insecurity of not feeling safe, that's the lowest chakra. That's our root chakra. So we can do affirmations. Once we acknowledge that we don't feel this way, we can do affirmations to help us reinforce that, yes, I feel safe. I am safe. I am secure. I am breathing. I am happy that I'm breathing. I'm happy that I'm secure in this now.
And seeking out the remedies that are out there in the world, find what resonates with you, and seek out what other people have to offer with respect to, how do I work on this chakra? How do I examine the belief systems that are related to this idea, that they reveal themselves to me, that I'm able to see them in the light and actually examine them and say, okay, now that I'm looking at them, I can actually heal them. I can actually deal with them now that I'm looking at them. And again, I'm not saying we all figure this out and like once you do it, that's fixed and you're done. It's not really like that. Because we're constantly changing every day. We're running through our chakras going, okay, today I want to work on this thing. Oh, this thing. Oh, this thing. You know, it's a constant, I think, examination.
Evolution.
Yes, exactly.
Or it's an acceptance.
Acceptance is a beautiful word too. Exactly. Acceptance.
Because in this now, I am creative. I am loving.
Yes.
I am passionate about life. In this now.
Man, you said that yesterday.
I did. I did.
That was a joke.
Yes, and I'm saying
That's
it
one of those
now.
now jokes.
It's a now
Exactly.
joke.
I did.
Uh-huh. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of anything that's fear-based. Are you fearful in this now? If not, let's do some affirmations.
And if I find myself in that state, Kina, I will literally say to myself, I do not like this reality that I'm in. And right now I intend to move into a parallel reality, because if you understand, you're moving through billions of parallel realities, billions of times, moment by moment by moment. If you can really bring yourself back into the here and now and remember that, I will literally say it out loud with intention. I am leaving this reality to this reality, that this is what I prefer. And your body has no choice but to move there. It just, because you're commanding it. You're the one in charge. This is what we need to we forget. We're the ones in charge. We are. There is no outside forces forcing us to do things and saying it doesn't work that way. There is no we decide. Now, whether we believe that on a higher level or not, on this level, but on a higher level, you're deciding what you want to experience. And once we own that, it's not scary anymore, because you're like, well, why am I afraid of something I created on a higher level that is here to show me something that, oh, wait, I don't need to be afraid of this. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think I'll leave it there.
Okay. When I try to shift parallel reality, I start I shift, and then I feel I have a gut feeling, and I start to sense. I cannot disregard the problem of fear. I have to have a little control of the problem. I cannot let life. Do you understand? I stay in.
That's why that's where the saying came from. Let go and let God, because it's in this, which is an old saying, but it's in the surrender that we find our power. Because your true power, we are not powerful when we go back to that place of that fearful place. That's where we lose our power there. And that's the whole point of surrendering and letting go, is about gaining power, not letting go of it.
Ah, okay, but maybe sometimes it's more easier to let go when you fulfill in life, when you are doing what you love to do. Because when you have a day-to-day life doing what you don't reflect yourself, and you don't love to do that, it's difficult to let go.
Exactly. And
stay.
that's why every channeler says, follow your joy as far as you can take it, and follow your highest excitement as moment by moment as far as you can take it, until you can't take it anymore, and then go on to the next thing. For what you can do in that moment, what you can do in that moment by moment. And that's exactly right, is that as soon as when you're following your joy and your bliss, that's exactly how that happens. Is because you don't have the room for the fear. It isn't present.
Then I will trying to do what you are explaining. Feel your joy and do what you want to do. But I was fearful because I was thinking, okay, I am doing my joy, but tomorrow I have to stop to.
And that's where you need to stop yourself right there and say, tomorrow, oops, I'm thinking about tomorrow, but tomorrow isn't now.
Yes,
I'm gonna bring myself back to the present, because that thought just gave me resistance. And I'm gonna remember the tool that says everything is here and now. Everything is here and now. That's where your power is. That's where we lose our power, is where we start tomorrow. What's gonna happen tomorrow when I wake up let's come back. And you're not alone.
Come back to now.
This is
Come
what we're
back to
all learning. You're not alone. We have to.
That's why we're doing this right now. We're doing this right now. Right now.
Yes, it's so funny. Every day I say to myself, tomorrow the party ends. Tomorrow, you are hearing me well? It's okay for the sound?
Oh, yes, we hear you.
Okay, every day I say, today it's okay, but tomorrow it's the end of the party.
See, that's where you have to start. Just practice. It takes practice. Believe me, nobody does this easily. It takes practice to keep bringing yourself back into the now. Every time I start worrying about somebody, and this is where Usui comes in, and he says, just for today, I will not worry. Because that means if I'm in a state of worry, when you're worried about something, that means you're not thinking about anything that has anything to do with right now. Not worry and now aren't in the same frequency. They aren't. They just don't. They're not in the same. You can't be in the now and be worried, because if you're worried, that means you're thinking about something that either happened already, hasn't happened yet, may never happen. And how many days have you woken up where the thing you feared never happened, but yet you still perpetuate the idea that it might happen? It might happen. We got to step out of there and come back to center, come back to now. Everything is here and now. Everything.
Thank you, Wendy. Let me complete that idea.
Oh, go ahead. Yes, please.
So Mikao Usui, when he gave us Reiki, he also gave us the Reiki ideals, the original Reiki ideals. He called it the secret art of inviting happiness, the miraculous medicine for all diseases. Just for today, do not anger, do not worry, and be filled with gratitude. Respect your work, do your work diligently, and be kind to all people. So if we go back to that, at any point in time, when I was learning Reiki, I was saying the Reiki ideals 5-10 times a day. And any time that I wasn't feeling right, I just said, Just for today, I shall not anger, I shall not worry, and I shall be filled with gratitude. And that right there is just like, okay, I don't have to be angry now. I don't have to worry right now. I can be filled with gratitude right now. And those things were just like, okay, and do your work diligently. Whatever your work is in this now, that's the important thing. Who's in front of me? What people are in front of me? How can I be kind to them? Though they were so instrumental in changing my mindset.
Yep. I still do them, Will. Every day, if I find myself going to those places of worry or fear or self-doubt, lack of self-love, I go right to those principles because they really do cover every base.
Every base. It changes your mindset. So then you start attracting abundance. You attract not being angry. That's what you're attracting. Okay? You're attracting not being worried. You're attracting being in the now. You're attracting the gratitude. You're attracting an appreciation for every task that you do. And you're attracting an appreciation for everybody else. That's the beauty of the Reiki ideals. And even if you don't believe in the Reiki ideals, if you say it as often as you can, it's going to change the way you feel. It's going to change the way you think. It will change your reality. I guarantee it.
Words have vibration.
It'll change your now.
Say the word, it has a vibration. Just like when we discount the power of and I did this whole thing on this loving yourself and looking in the mirror, and it has a power. And I was reminded today, actually, by my friends up there, that I too have been lax in reminding myself to say these things out loud, because they have a vibration and they literally change our frequency. They change the frequency of the being that you are, and they raise you to a higher vibrational version of who you were a minute before you didn't intend that. So it's that powerful, and we discount that. We have this power within us every minute, and we just forget. We forget. And I'm constantly reminded about to go back to the principles, or to say to myself when I find myself, even, we don't even realize, I'm an idiot. It's like, we have to stop ourselves and not do that, because it has a vibration. So like Will said, when you start actually thinking about those thoughts or saying it, I will not be worried, I will not be angry, you're literally creating the vibrational version of yourself that is moving into that belief system. It's now, and then you're not, and I get what you're saying, because sometimes we feel like we're tricking ourselves, like, well, but you're not tricking yourself. You're literally changing the version of who you are.
Yeah, you create your reality. So be positive and create positive reality. And if it's fear-based, get away from fear-based and recreate the positive reality.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Sam. Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to add to that, Sam?
No, that's what I wanted to get across to Kina, because if she's in fear-based sometime, create that fear-based reality. So, just change it and create the positive reality. So that way you stay in positive mode.
Exactly. And you just need to choose that now.
Exactly.
Right. That's the best part, Kina. You only need to choose it now. You don't need to worry about, I need to choose that tomorrow. I need to choose that later. All you need to worry about is choosing it right now. And if you need to do that again in 5 minutes, that's okay.
I've done it.
Do you know how many days I still do this to myself? Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today. I mean, I'm human. I'm human and I got human people in my life and I got, you know, stuff. So we all have to remind ourselves to come back to the here and now and go, I don't need to think about that right now. I don't need to worry about that right now. And then I found myself even asking myself, okay, wait, I'm angry about that. So then I'll go, okay, just for today, I will not be angry. And I'm like, but wait a minute. Why actually am I angry about that thing? Why am I actually mad? And sometimes actually when I start to think about the reason I'm actually angry, it still brings me back to the now because I realize it's probably because I'm angry about something from the past, something I might have to do or don't want to do, or I'm obligated to do, or, you know, the list can go on. And so it's all kind of connected in that respect.
Guys, you are joking. I don't see you as a angry person.
Of course you don't,
and
because but
That's
we
because
have,
it's a full moon and we got together. Like, we didn't come here to get together to be angry right now. We came here to create awesome.
exactly. But I can assure you that there are moments that pass my thoughts every single day where there's a moment that will cross my mind that says, I'm angry at that person about that thing. And then I have to think, wait a minute. Now, why am I angry about them for that thing when if I know the principles and I know that if they're having an experience, and if I know that their experience has no bearing on my choice of joy, on whether or not to be joyful, then why would I be angry with anybody ever about anything? Why would I? Because then my being angry at somebody else or my anger toward another person is saying to my world or that person, you need to change in order for me to feel better, or you need to be different, or what you did hurt me. No, it really doesn't work that way. They didn't really hurt you. Your perception of what they did, your judgment of what they did hurt you. Now, if we can be an allowance of knowing that their experience doesn't need to have an impact on us. But see, this is where we get into worry. So if I'm starting to get angry about something, there's a lot of different things we can do about that. And we can say, I will not be angry. And they say, well, but wait, I am angry, but why? And sometimes once you realize the reason you're angry, it's like, okay, the reason I'm angry goes against every principle that I know to be true. So therefore, the anger dissolves kind of on its own.
Yes, absolutely. And we can dwell on this topic. I think we need to start manifesting and raising the vibration.
Yeah, let's manifest them.
So we will bring in a higher vibration. We will bring in affirmations and watch what happens to our moods, to the vibration of the room. Watch what happens, and we can set our intention to manifest a tomorrow, a new now, the next now. We can manifest that to be safe, to be creative, to be willful and powerful, to be heart-centered, to be speaking our truth, to be enhancing our intuition, to be all that is. We can set our intentions to do this. And that's what the tools that we're going to use right now to raise our vibration, to manifest, to ask the Aquarian fire to release what no longer serves us. And if that fear-based living no longer serves, allow it to go. And if living in the awesome sounds good, set your intention now. Let's raise our vibration and raise it and raise it. And then co-create. So let's do some I ams. I am safe.
I am beautiful. I am perfect. And when I say I am, I mean we are.
I love you, Brian. So anybody can unmute and say I am.
Yeah, because I'm ready to keep going with a whole bunch. I've been waiting like all day for this.
Exactly.
Well, I didn't wait. I actually did it earlier too, but I just get to do it again.
Me too. I am creative.
I am playing in the snow.
I am not playing in the snow.
I am in my heart center. I am a ball of energy.
I am grounded.
I am grateful.
I am the one.
I am loving.
But you say that for your feeling that.
When I say it, I become it. And when I say it, I am it and I feel it.
Because you trust.
Because I say it. You are what you're doing. If you're sitting, I am sitting.
Yes.
I am laughter.
Yes, yes.
That was beautiful.
I am participating.
See? Ina, that was beautiful.
I am peaceful.
Yes.
I am right now.
But I'm ching. I am in the bliss.
Yes, I
You
am.
are always the bliss.
And Jody says, I am healthy. Yes. I am smiling.
I am the divine connection point between the planet below me and the sun above me. Some call that the divine masculine and feminine, and it can only exist in your heart center, for you are the connection point. I am the heart.
I am the heart.
God. God is I am.
I am all my past life incarnations.
I am my truth. Wendy's rebooting her computer.
But it's more easier to stay truly in your AM when you do what you love in life. How do you find it?
By doing affirmations. And being
A
in
big
the bliss.
aspect is you just said it. You asked. How do you find it? We start asking ourselves, what is most valuable right now? What is my top priority? And that priority from the body view, the priority from the heart view, the priority from the spirit view. Again, these are all the parallel realities they were speaking about earlier. Yet ask the questions. We have to ask in order to receive. So if we're not sure if we're on purpose, we start asking layers upon layers of questions to unravel and explore what these answers may be.
Yes. And if we don't like the answers right at the beginning, try some I ams and raising the vibration and then ask again. And that's what we're doing. That's what manifestation is. It's the asking of the question. It's the telling, it's stating, it's questioning, it's interacting with the universe. That's what co-creation is. And if we do it from a higher vibration, we get a higher return on our investment.
I always listen to I am meditation, but I didn't trust. So I spent 9 months doing I am meditations, but I don't feel for them. I wasn't trusting. I was only doing by mental ways. Do you understand? And for 9 months I was stuck uh, because I was manifesting the same crap.
Yes, and now you're changing it.
Yes, because I listen your explanation and it's more clear for me now. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm joyful.
I am happy for you.
I am blessed.
Yes, it's great.
Absolutely.
I am the full moon. I am comet, whatever alphanumeric number they gave it.
Then the full moon is for cleansing all cords, all low vibes. It's a purpose of the full moon.
The purpose of the full moon is to be that light in the sky.
Yes.
We happen to use it to celebrate the cycles of life. When we celebrate the cycles of the moon, we're celebrating the cycles of life. And another way of celebrating the cycles of life is by breathing. When we breathe in, it's like the full moon. When we have a full breath, and when we exhale, it's like the new moon, where we we just are. We're beautiful. We're celebrating. The full moon and the new moon have the magic because we give it the magic. Okay? It gives us energy and we focus on it and we use it in our intentions and we co-create with it.
So to piggyback off of what Will just said, and you already kind of mentioned this, Kina, it brings things to the surface. The full moon is the release, just as Will just connected it with the breath. You know, the breathing out is the release and the breathing in is the anew. And that's a good way of looking at it. Is that when we're releasing things that no longer serve us, feelings come to the surface, situations and experiences will happen more in a powerful way. But on a grander scale of things, we got this release going on, but there is cosmic alignments with the moon being full and new. It's on one side of the planet versus the other. So when we look at, you know, science-based like sacred geometry and we're looking at alignments, full moon, new moon actually create specific alignments and it physiologically pulls them on the water inside of our bodies. So that's how sometimes our emotions and our feelings surface easier for a release during a full moon, or new moon, we're maybe more stimulated to be creative, but we have to practice that. It just doesn't happen naturally. We have to tune into those frequencies that, hey, the moon's full, maybe I'll do something today, like we are.
Creating awesomeness.
I was thinking with the full moon, everyone will start to release bad entities, to shake, to do exorcism, but it's only a state of mind. And I was thinking about people releasing, shaking all the bad spirit in the full moon. Only because it was a full moon.
Not only because. Lots of things can happen on a full moon.
Yes, you didn't understand. I thought everyone will clean automatically themselves and exorcism themselves only because of the magic of the full moon, without doing nothing, without stating intention. Do you understand?
Yes.
I was thinking it was magic today.
Well, it is.
For those that are watching.
Yes.
You have to participate in the magic show. If you don't go to the magic show, then there is no magic. We're at the magic show right now. Like, it's happening. Like, I went from one magic show to this one, yet the magic is the recognition. The magic is the intention. That's the power that everyone's been speaking about tonight, is that we are syncing up. We are saying the I ams. We are taking the deep breath. That is the magic. That is the feeling to rise up and continue to create, like we said. Oh, Wendy said it so perfectly earlier. If you've been creating fear for so long, that gives us the great recognition that we can create the opposite of anything. That's what the yin and the yang of the universe bring us, is this balance and this polarity that when we have something that we don't like, or we have something we do like, we express gratitude. When we have something we don't like, we want to intend on something, or we want to release that first and then create the intention. So that's built on the foundation of the release, the acceptance that something was there. Hey, I got something going on. Maybe it's as simple as a daily thing, or maybe this is a lifetime thing. So it's very heavy, and it's kind of been something we've been carrying around. So it's not just we can say it one time and it's all better. So the magic of the full moon is only when we're interacting with it. When we're not interacting with it, it's still there. It's still possible, but it's not part of our reality because we chose to focus on a different dimension of focus, which is good sometimes.
Yes. But when we engage our focus and we engage our intention, we are fully interacting with the universe. When we align our will, our three-dimensional willpower, when we align that with our highest good, that's when the magic happens. When we listen to our highest good, our highest self, our God self, and we listen to what is it that we really want to create. And we can only find out by listening, by allowing that information to come forth. And we do it now. Everything only happens now. And that's why we're... Say again?
Do you have light language for now? Do you have some tips of ET tips for in your mind right now?
I didn't understand that.
Do you have some light language to join us right now?
I can. Do you need light language to reaffirm all the vibrations?
No, it was only for joy of listening light language.
Okay. Koshiwayana hayata kasawata hashinihi utukuno hashinawata takashinihi tikisawata kaya ashahukanawaya chishawanaya chichaha kawatosono utukuhoroshaya tanikatiya aranihi utoshuaya.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you for all your advice and all your explanation. I see the thing in another way right now.
Awesome, totally awesome. Another person who has shifted their reality and their perception. That's why we raise the vibration. You have helped me raise the vibration. Brian, you have helped me raise the vibration. Raise my vibration. Wendy, Sam, Jody, and Michelle, and our new friend Benny. Welcome, Benny. I heard that, Wendy.
As soon as you start speaking, of course, I'm just like, oh, but she had to give me the hesa to pussy. So I gotta start right away, you know.
Yeah, I know. But that also helps raise the vibration, which is the awesome part. And to me, it's a natural part of me to raise the vibration with light language. So it doesn't, and you don't have to. We can do what raises your vibration? What gets you going? Is it laughter? Is it joy? Is it looking at pictures? Is it hugging a tree? It doesn't matter what raises your vibration. And saying the affirmations are ways of doing it.
Absolutely.
I am light language.
Oh, well, it's kind of funny because that's kind of one of the terms I heard real early on was I am a language of light. And then they went on to explain that everything is a language, is speaking some form of a language of light. So,
well, whether we speak it with our mouth or we just vibrate it, they're just other vibrations. And sound is in the electromagnetic, yeah, if I can say it, electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, it's a small subset, and so is the visible spectrum. It's another subset. And so we can hear more, we can see, and there's so many other vibrations out there that are helping us to co-create. It's a part of us that every aspect of ourselves are helping us to create. It takes to get our vibration up so that we can set our intention and let the universe know what the next now, what it's gonna be, not what it should be. Don't shit on yourself. What it's gonna be, what it is, so that you can step into that new is, the new isness.
and sometimes we have to ask to, if we have a real, something that we feel is a tough like belief, you know, and we say to ourselves, you know, I can't believe that, or I don't believe that I can do that. Sometimes if that is our desire, well, not sometimes, if that is your desire, then we must ask for the assistance to believe, I can believe that. And we forget sometimes that it's okay to ask for the belief to help us believe what is our truth, and to let go of everyone else, of everything I've ever learned from everyone else, and help me reveal by, like, this full moon. Let me use this full moon as permission slip every month to reveal to me what beliefs I am holding on to. And if I feel like I can't get rid of them, help me, give me the belief that I am that powerful, that I can believe that. And sometimes we need help even believing we can believe in ourselves, if that makes sense.
Yes, I have a friend who's they want to grow up spiritually, but we think when you start to be kind, or sometimes we become afraid of letting go of being our higher versions, your higher self in life, because you think if you are too kind or too good, and you will don't succeed. My friend, he said to me, if I start to become kind and joyful and peaceful, I will be in life like Jesus. I will smile in the street. I won't pay for what I purchase. He's afraid of being this state of mind. And sometimes I was too afraid of staying this being of mind, of the heart, because in the society you don't see people like in this way, and you don't allow yourself to be. But now I know it's not important to what other people think. And
Precisely.
it's like a wall he puts to himself because he don't allow to be kind.
And this is where we're heading in our ascension, is becoming a heart-centered, species. And a message I received a couple of days ago or last week was about the foundation, and that the heart chakra is our foundation. It's the center point between the three above and the three below, at least the ones that we perceive as the seven. So, but there's tons more than that. But So it is the foundation of where our species needs to go in order for us to move into this higher level of ascension, this higher vibrational beingness, if you will, and becoming that state, as you mentioned, becoming afraid to be that way.
Kishawana aya chahawa tutuna. Shishiawane akahasa tekawana asya. Shinihu watokora nawata tasa ishihu kotohoshuaya. Siyashanewaya tata. There is only now, Washanahokotokushiwa, with the acknowledge that you are now, Hayishnihu Kotokushiwa Teyata. You can forget about the past and forget about the future. Why now? Hoshiokotokushiwata, with the acknowledge of the now, Huyachishine. You allow yourself to be, and then it is easy to be in the heart center. For fear does not exist in the heart center. Only bliss exists in the heart center. All manifestation comes from the heart center. You can only manifest awesomeness from the heart center, which is why we raise our vibration, so that we can be one with our heart center and one with our highest good. And then only success and abundance can come. Why would we want to manifest from anywhere else? Too much English.
I know. The problem is I was getting this information and I couldn't get it out as it was coming in.
No, I get it. So let us now manifest. Our vibrations are up. Let us manifest. Let's take out that pencil and paper. Let us write down all the things that we want. If you have things that you don't want, acknowledge them too. It's a full moon. It's a great time to let them go. Make a list of what you don't want. Then, if you took the time to make what you don't want, write down what you do want. Write the opposite of what you don't want. Awesome. Okay? And then concentrate on this. Allow what you don't want to go away. I set my intention that my interactions with all people will be joyful and curious and amazing and abundant.
Yes.
I set my intention. So it's a powerful statement. I set my intention. I set my intention. I allow abundance to come to me. I allow, it's another powerful statement. I allow the abundance that the universe wants to provide me. It is aching to provide me with all that I desire. Write it down. Take a couple of moments. Write down what you wish to create. Write down what you wish to release. Aim high. Doesn't matter what it is, write it down. And if you got sticky notes, write them on sticky notes. Put them up against the wall. Come back and address them in a week or a month. Does not matter. Do you still want to manifest this? And if you take things, if you write down what you don't want, what you want to release on a sticky note, when you finally release it, you can take that sticky note down and then you can check it off and you can put it off on this other wall, which is your accomplishment wall. so that when you get all these things that you released and all the things that you've manifested, you can look at that and you say, look at the master manifester that I am. Look at all this stuff that I'm creating. And there's my proof on this wall over here. And look at all this new stuff that I still want to create.
Your house will be full of post-it.
That's right.
My house, my heart is full of Post-it notes. It is full of what I want to create and is full of what I have already created. Chiwa, hainia tukohosi. With my heart, my heart is overflowing. It's constantly pushing out to the universe. That's what it's constantly doing. It's constantly co-creating. It's constantly clearing rooms. It's constantly healing. It's constantly drawing people. That's what my heart does, because I have intended this heart to do this when I incarnated into this life, and I intend to do this every day. I set my intention to do this. I change my thinking. I manifest. I set it in motion, I engage the laws of the universe, and it comes to me.
When start your journey? What was the first day when you decide to let go? What was the event, and where was you before that? You was a fearful person. You was smoking person. What was you?
It matters not what my story is. What matters is it's now, and I'm deciding now that I'm manifesting awesomeness into my life. That's the only thing that matters. Do you want awesomeness in your life? Sweet. Take out a piece of paper and a pencil. Write down what flavor of awesomeness you want. That's it. Just write flavor of awesomeness. Just write it down.
Yes, okay.
How does that taste?
Exactly. Toshinyata kahosa.
Yummy.
And if I hear talking now, that means you're not writing.
No, I'm writing simultaneously.
Yeah, I know. I know you know how to manifest.
I mean, why? If someone tells you to write something down that's for you, that's going to only do good for you, and it's going to use two of the most powerful words in the universe, and you sit there and you think about it, that's okay.
It is.
I don't
It's
have
a
to think about it. I just respond to the flow of awesomeness, and I'm like, they're putting out awesomeness. I will follow that for now. Only for now.
Only for now.
I don't have time later.
Exactly.
Once you find your center, you'll find that. Hi. Once you find your center, and once you find your heart and your center, you actually know where your home is. Because if you didn't know where your home is, then you'd just be lost.
Nice. Well said, Pete.
Very true. And that's something we have to remember in this accelerated time. You know, yes, the full moon and these energies, these planetary shifts, whether it's the full moon and the new moon, each have their purposes in that they help accelerate these things for us because of our connection to water and so forth. So they do help us accelerate. So we're to take advantage of these times and use our intentions for the manifestation and realize that it is happening faster and faster. And you're right, you don't have to write it down. And that's this fun / scary / reality is now, as soon as you think it, we understand now, thoughts are things, thoughts become beliefs, and beliefs is how we act and manifest and how we shape our life. So when we realize that now that, okay, that thought I just put out there, how much energy do I want to put into that thought? And we really start to think pretty quick about how powerful our thoughts are, and how do I even want to entertain that thought? Because if I entertain that thought, that means I'm creating that reality for myself. because I know what I put out is what I put out is what I get back. That's one of the laws. Like everything is here and now.
It's now.
Everything is here and now.
So I think we should, since we wrote some stuff down, let us meditate.
Yes.
I say we meditate, and then I say that gives us a chance to resonate highly and send our laundry list, send our shopping. It's our shopping list for the universe. We send our shopping list to the universe, and we listen to what the universe has to say. Okay?
Ooh, you know, I like that, Will, because listening to what the universe has to say, sometimes we want things and we intend things. And then if sometimes we listen to the answer from the universe, maybe the thing we think we want is not really what we need. And if we listen to the universe, sometimes we find that out. And then we discover the thing we really need.
Absolutely, which is why we edit the list later. What we wish to create or what we wish to release, it's always a work in progress. Our to-do list is never going to be empty.
And we have to be okay with realizing if we have something that a belief system reveals to us that what we thought was what we wanted yesterday, we need to be okay with the allowance of letting it go, in knowing that you don't need to be attached to that just for the sake of what you think you put into it. If something you discover in your ascension that leads you to believe or understand something new that allows you to change a belief and a path, we have to be allowing to let it go and say, okay, it's okay to go this direction and let that go, because that's what I've been asking for, is the truth. What is my truth? What do I really want to manifest? And sometimes if we don't listen to the universe, we could really cut out a lot of our own drama if we listened first and allowed the surrender, allowed the path to take us and listen, as opposed to forcing something and realizing we were forcing something that really wasn't for our highest good and from our heart center.
Well said.
So thanks for that, Will. That was just
You're welcome.
just from what you said.
So let's meditate.
Okay.
So everyone get comfortable. Let's take a
Wendy,
couple.
when you were talking, it was 11:11.
Of course it was, because I'm the essence of 11, man. My birth path, baby. Well,
got
that
it.
also
Just wanted to-
reminds us that the ascended masters are indeed, and the angels here with us tonight in this room to remind us that we are indeed loved and guided and supported always, always. And that we have a lot of these conversations raise the vibration of the entire human collective. So thank you for that 11:11 alert, baby.
And also to remain grounded. The angels also refer to not only to remain high in the ascension, but also to remain grounded in the process. Because every time when you wish to manifest something, you always need to pull that down into physical reality. That's what, since I'm a channeler, I channeled that, what they were interpreting on that, on their energy.
Thank you, Pete.
So always remain grounded. Says, some of them says to the angels at this moment.
Yes.
Stay in your root chakra, get into your root chakra and connect yourself to Gaia. When you wish to manifest something to the universe, always ask the universe and be grounded in the now. And you'll magnetically attract these things to you.
I am writing. Go ahead.
Very nice. So I ask everyone to mute. Welcome, Angie. Just in time to meditate. So I ask everyone to relax. Let us take a couple of deep breaths together. Breathing and relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Breathing and relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Let's do one more. Breathing and relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Let us focus our awareness on our heart centers. For this is the seed of our bright light. This is the seed of our holy fire. Breathing and relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Let us take our hearts, our bright light in our heart center, and bring that up through our crown chakra, up beyond our aura and our energy field, our personal energy, and take it into heaven and grab some non-egoic energy, non-egoic Aquarian fire, and bring that back down through our heart, our crown chakra, back into our heart centers. Let us ground this energy into this 3D reality. Take this combined energy down through our root chakra, deep down into Gaia, as if growing roots down into Gaia. Wrap those roots around the core of Mother Earth and bring that energy back up through the root chakra and back into our heart centers, combining this energy, making the sacred marriage of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, breathing and relaxing, exhale, releasing. Continue this divine flow up through the crown chakra, bringing back Aquarian fire, grounding it, and bringing it back to the heart center. Allow yourself to continue to do this process while we turn our attention elsewhere. Breathing and relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Breathing and relaxing. And on your exhale, push out this combined energy from our heart centers. Push it out into every aspect of your being. Now imagine yourself on a hilltop. And on this hilltop, it is the perfect temperature for you. It is nighttime, and you can see the full moon up above. The light is really gleaming down tonight. For this is no ordinary light. This light comes from heaven and is non-egoic and only has your best interests at heart. Allow this light to enter your soul and allow this light to take you on a journey. When you're ready, focus your awareness on your breath. Pay attention to how the air flows in through your nostrils and fills your lungs, and the warmth of your breath as it leaves your nostrils. Just how calming it is to breathe in slowly. How calming it is to feel your lungs fill. And to feel how calming it is to exhale gently as the air rushes past your nose, your nostrils. And feel how that calmness is in your heart as well while you breathe. This is how we cultivate that peace in our hearts. It is one of the things we actually can control. We can control how we think and how we breathe, and that's about it. So why not breathe in peace and contentment? Breathe in love and light. For when we breathe in peace and contentment, we are peace and contentment. When we breathe in love, we are love. And we can't help but radiate that peace and that love from our being. Slowly bring awareness back to our fingers and toes. Wiggle them. Slowly move our head back and forth a little bit. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. If you experienced anything in your meditation, now would be a great time to journal about it. Did you feel peace? What did you feel? What did you see? What did you experience? I'm going to take a couple moments to write down my experience. If anyone wishes to unmute and share, that would be awesome.
I have an experience.
Please share.
When I was halfway meditating, I was seeing a really bright light at the edge of the moon, and it opened a portal to another dimension. And I got pulled in. I was naturally pulled in to it, and where I met in this my spirit guide in the rainforest. It was bright, and it had a mixture with the rainforest and a forest in redwood, and it was like a mixture of both. a blending of both the rainforest and the redwood, and with the sun shining out very brightly in the sense. And then suddenly, once I was just walking around, I noticed that my guide that was like at least 10 feet tall was being that was 10 feet tall, that it just gave me something as a gift. It was like a little item that he gave me. It was like this a octahedron type of thing, and it had light within it, and it started shifting, constantly shifting its patterns. And I saw it, and I was just like, it was a strong energy, so strong it kind of knocked me back into my physical body. And then I was just like halfway trying to bring my awareness back to that state. And then once I did so, the being was gone at that moment where I was standing. So I just simply said thank you, whoever you are. And I just kept, and the next moment, my next awareness took me up into the moon, or moon in this dimension at this point. And I had it to, and then I sat down, I meditated on the moon while it was ringing its own vibration. And once I was sitting down, I heard this bang in the sense where I knew the bang was. It was how you would say the NASA was banging on themselves on the shot like a nuclear or a bomb on the moon, and it started vibrating in the sense. So I was resonating and vibrating with that tone. So basically, I was sitting on the moon, meditating, while moments later that happened. And then right afterwards, I suddenly felt the need to say, give thanks to the universe for giving myself the opportunity to go into these dimensions and these timelines. And so, and then I immediately, but not immediately, but slowly went to see my astral family, my kids, and my hybrid children. And then I just slowly saw the saw all of you guys as well in that realm, etheric realm, and you are all in a near circular curvature group while meditating. So I saw you guys doing that, and then I was like so interested, but it wasn't my entire interest, but just wanted to know where each and every one of our awareness was. So I just thanked it, and then I just left to back into the cosmos and into the physical reality at this point. I actually said thank you so much for sharing this with me. And the next moment, I just was 5 minutes back in my physical body, and I was maintaining my grounding, and shifted my meditation into a grounding state. I also saw a bit of my wife, my astral wife, so I saw her. Just felt glad that I managed to see her, and my three little hybrid kids that just came with her. And then and then I just shifted into another reality because I was always shifting to one point of a dimension to another. So I was just back into the place where I was sitting on the hilltop meditating. And then I just saw the moon just still shining out the same light that as I entered into it. And at the same time, once I did that, the whole of my being started to ground, feel myself like whole roots started to ground. I also sensed roots that connected to Gaia as well. And then it was just like a sound, like a booming sound, like boom, boom. It was like a heartbeat sound, and all the energy is going from each of your energy on each end. And then all of a sudden, I saw my energy went up in a certain way that was a little different in a sense. And then it got me to the point of waking up because of that, so much love and light that just came into it in my heart space that I just shot myself back in. And then the next thing I know, I just woke up right here.
Beautiful.
So I saw everyone. I saw everyone in the etheric realm, just meditating, connecting to their physical bodies as well. Seemed to resonate with their physical body that it kind of was helping with the ascension process.
Very nice. Thanks for sharing. Would anyone
You're
else
very
like to
welcome.
share?
I'll do it. Will mine was a short one. I went in there and I saw a bucket, and in the bucket I looked in there. There was some fish floating, either a sunfish or a bluegill. I'm saying, abundance. And then all of a sudden I felt so much vibrational high energy came through me. My body started shaking, and I came back. When I came back, I basically sent telepathy message to you. Said, I am done. Will, I'm waiting for you.
I got the memo. Trust me, I
Okay.
got the memo. I'm going, but everybody else is deep in it.
That was it. All I know is abundant and fish.
Yes. Abundant fish.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I kind of got kicked out of my meditation process because the energy was so loving and so strong that I had to like pull up my shoulders back, my sleeves up, and waltz right back into my meditation. I step back into that state, like pull my sleeves up.
Nice. Would anyone else like to share?
Good morning.
Hi, Angie.
Thanks for sending the Aquarian fire to wake me up.
You got it.
That's about it.
Okay.
I just got here in time.
I was wake up too. Angie, you are not alone.
Nice.
I'm never alone.
Yes. Would anyone else like to share what happened during your meditation?
I was just giving everybody else a chance to chime in. I didn't want to share too much, but I just had a little bit of fun on the moon myself, so because that's the first place
No
I
wonder
went. I went straight from my went straight from my mountain right to the moon. It was a straight shot.
It was a straight shot.
I was sensing somebody on the moon, but I didn't know who it was.
Yeah,
it was funny because
I went there immediately because, well, I've actually had experiences there where I've been there and have projected myself there, and so it was a little bit of that, and then I was reminded. I can't help it because it's the Shikani in me, but I'm always reminded of the moonlight, and I can't help it. Every time I see a full moon, I remember the Sasani Shikani Oversoul, Epsilon Epiphany and Eclipse, and I remember Bashar saying that about how they send massive amounts of love bursts through the moonlight. And so every time I see a full moon, I always think of that every single month. And so for me, that's my immediate so I went right there to the moon and I said hello to some of the beings that I had met there before. And I just kind of took a quick look around, and I was immediately really enveloped in complete. It was as if I got to the surface, but I left right away, and I was just enveloped in just white moonlight. It was just complete white, pure light. And that's when I was reminded about them and the oversouls and words Sani and Shikani actually means place of living light. And so I was just enveloped in this light, this love, this light of love. And so I kind of like went there, to the Sasani oversoul energy and their place of living light, and then I began like coming back here and starting to visually manifest or intend look. I was seeing visions of manifestations that I, just things that I've been wanting to, that I put out there that I've been wanting, or that I see, or that I, and asking to be shown what I haven't seen yet. What is it that hasn't been revealed to me yet? What elements of my path haven't I seen yet, and what can I, how can I be open and let go of all preconceived ideas and beliefs that may be hindering me from actually seeing new paths and avenues more clearly. And I spent a lot of time on my hill too, and my hill where the eagle is. So I did come back there a few times. So I know that there's something very special with that, and I saw myself meeting all of you, physically meeting all of you, and hugging and touching you all physically. And so, and I think, well, that was kind of the gist of it anyway. There was some more things in there, and I talked to my angels a little bit, and so there was a few other things that went on in there, but it was kind of the gist of it. So
You won't travel for free.
what's that?
You take a travel without paying.
Oh yes, I enjoy traveling a lot, physically and spiritually.
Yes, you are a traveler.
Yes, I am.
Thanks for sharing, Wendy. Oh, so I would like to wrap up because I'm like really tired right now.
Yeah.
So
time for bed for Will, and yeah, we all. And I have an early house showing, so let's manifest the intention that I sell my house.
yes, let us manifest that. We ask the Aquarian fire to flow in, through, and around that situation in every way, and everywhere, and every when. And so it is.
And so it is.
Yes.
And then I invite you all to have the perfect manifestations this evening.
Yes.
For your highest good.
I'm going to manifest a full night's sleep and to wake up well rested.
That's a perfect intention.
Exactly. But
thank you.
You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. light language blessings are coming through at this point. So,
Oh, yes,
yeah,
we must.
we must. Chia wanahaya takatara tatara siya takahoshawa tiana. Aishi hawa katania sasawa kanada nihia chisha. Hushania takushania watanara nisia cha ora so huchiwar siya. Divine blessings for we are divine creator beings. While we sit in the gratitude, we are in our heart centers, and manifesting is done. Manifesting is. I don't need to say anything else.
Isa poshuni pi ala ki te pikoshuni pi lahama roko se se pi shinya wala hai. Se pi sapunua bala kasimi ki satosho hea. Se pi me amora katiki ki ana satosu pilahina. Remember that when you intend something and when you have put out your desire to change, the change does not begin then. The change is done. Imeluka persono pala shimi borkoti pasanisa. Se toso mi kuaposhin abilastiti. Sitimi la soporo simi ilu kuapaloshimi alaki. Tipila musatoshi. Tipalosina. Ilaka. It becomes real the moment you intend it, the moment you see the vision. Then you must ask to draw yourself and be brought into the vibration of its existence in your reality. Imalukwa sa pashinia bala kutipisa, se pinamia waka porania bala kesati, se pulai mirakuya mila ilasi. And always remember your power that yes, if you can create what you do not desire, you are equally as powerful to create that which you do. Imosotoshimiya sapisa, simply be discerning in knowing and feeling by instinct, knowing that what is true for you and that what you want and what you need may be entirely different, and be open to that revelation to you. This is a sign of true spiritual growth and ascension, when you can place yourself in that openness, that willingness to be shown a new perspective. And if it rings true with you, to trust that ring of truth within you. Masotoshmiya wa satoshia. For that is your gift. That is all you have. That is your guide. That ring of truth within you, in that heart space. And we are one with you in this light. Namaste.
Well said. Thank you. Chiho kanawaya tatsaniata. Awashaniyata kana husiyacha. Husanawa takana watasaya. Tinia kwatarasiya chawarana. That was just deep gratitude for your peeps. And Hishikono o kutkoan ashihiata kushinia watatasaniya tata. We are always creating, whether we create with our mind or we create with our hearts. When we create with our minds, that is only a fraction of our being. While we listen to our hearts and create with our hearts, when we set our intention from our hearts, that is our true creative power. And for that resonation, it does attract. They got something more to say, don't they?
That was it. That was good though. You're always creating, and that's what we have to remember. You're always creating, and you're always abundant in something.
Oh, you are.
What are you abundant in is the question.
It's where we set our awareness so we can see the abundance. And then we allow our heart to vibrate at its true vibration. And there we will create the abundance that we are aware of.
And we can have an abundance of lack.
Let's not go there. We are manifesting abundance of awesomeness.
We can have the abundance of everything else.
Yes.
Everything else.
So let us close with that.
Yes.
So thank you for joining. It was our pleasure to co-create together. Thank you all for joining. On behalf of my co-host Wendy and Brian, who chimed in for a second. It's always wonderful when Brian comes and co-creates with us.
Thank you
Well,
all.
thank you, Wellness Hero. Check him out, Wellness Hero on YouTube. You can check out Wendy on Languages of Lights, or me. Well, hey, you're watching it. So thanks for joining. Namaste.
Mahalo, everyone. Much love. Yakosha.